United Way is one of those unique organizations that has a very long reach. It reaches out into our community and actually has an effect on individuals and individual lives.
It's an agency that supports you throughout your life in many different capacities, in a social way, in a mental health way, financial stability. There is some avenue in which the United Way will impact your life.
Stand in a grocery store, look in front of you, look behind you. One of you is impacted by a program that the United Way does. I remember last year working at the Stuff the Bus, and there was a gentleman, he was a homeless gentleman, and he was with us all weekend, and I knew sitting on the curb of Walmart was what he called home. At the end of the weekend, he walked out of Walmart and put a bag of school supplies in my cart. And I said, "Why? You can't afford to do that." And he said, "When I was a little boy going to school, the teacher used to give me a piece of paper out of her notebook every day so that I had something to write on." He said, "Someone believed in me at some point in my life," and he goes, "I want to make sure those materials are there so those kids can have what they need to be all they can be."
One of the things that we know about children, if they come to school with several risk factors in place, then it's more difficult for them to be successful. What United Way does is they try to start filling that gap that sometimes public schools or private schools can't do, and reach those children that sometimes are forgotten. As a former superintendent, I know that when I cancel school, I'm also stopping 2 meals a day for some of my children, breakfast and lunch. For some of the children in our communities, coming to school is where they get their meals. I sometimes take that for granted, assuming everyone has food to eat. But the fact is that kids go home every day not knowing where their next meal is going to come from. Everyone has an opportunity to give back to a community in which they live. The first year we did the backpack program and stuffing those backpacks and sending them home, they came back with food left in them, with notes from parents that said, "Thank you so much for sending this home with my child for the weekend. We couldn't eat it all, so we're hoping that you can share this with others that need it more." And I thought, they can't afford to do that. And then there was a part of me that said, they can't afford not to do it.
We've been through some really challenging economic times, and I think people have found themselves in situations they never thought they would be. There are many, many creative things that are being done, in partnerships and collaborations, things that, we just might take for granted. You see the agencies that we support, there are programs available to help with, employment, maybe child care, maybe senior care issues, right here firsthand. You can ride by a building and know that there's a United Way service being provided inside. I had a young gentleman who was in an entry-level position who made a very generous contribution. And when I thanked him, he was like, "It's the least I can do to repay my debt." And that just really sticks with you, and it just makes you realize that other people believe in the same things you do.
United Way looks at health from many different perspectives. We look at the physical health as well as mental health as key factors that we address in the community. 1 in 3 people in our community suffer from a mental health diagnosis. And physical health is also so important from a nutritional standpoint, from utilizing medications properly and having access to those. So we look at it from a couple different avenues on how we can help people be healthier. But encompassing all that is access. Access to quality health care and affordable health care. Some people just cannot afford to go to a physician or afford to get their medication. We partner with programs such as the Free Clinic, which provides access to affordable health care as well as affordable dental care. We all can do our part to make someone's life a little better.
We have to advocate for the cause, to let people know what we do. We need to tell a story, we need to tell a strong story, and see the programs at work and get involved.
We have 96 hours if we have 4 weekends in a month. If we can give one of those 96 hours back to our community, that would amount to 12 hours a year. That's 1 hour a month. It can make a huge difference in the lives of someone who needs it.
When you look at United Way and you can invest or you can volunteer, or you can donate. One of the things that you've done is you've really invested in your community.
Giving to the United Way is the same thing. I'm asking you, give. It makes a difference.
If you give $2 a week, $2 a week can feed a family through the Backpack Pantry program. $5 a week can help a person with a disability get transportation so they can work and be an active, tax-paying citizen in our community. $10 a week can guarantee that a child can go to camp during the summer. Those are just some examples of how a little bit can make a huge difference in someone else's life.
Every single dollar makes a difference. It doesn't always matter what the donation is. It's just the donation. We're gonna build a community. We're gonna do it one brick at a time, $1 at a time, one volunteer hour at a time.